is that our mind, due to the wrong notion, accept means as an end. Wealth will give me happiness. I am single, I'm so sad. If I get married, it will bring happiness. No, I have lot of problems. If I divorce, I will be happy. You see, all the means are there. And this is the false notion. As long as we do not remove this false notion, there is no end to our suffering. Look at our genius. I'm not addressing any one of you here. The genius in computers, he said, I lived 27 years of loveless life. Who told you to live a loveless life for 27 years? Who told you? Did any one of us has told? Think of this. This is why Eastern wisdom, the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom is very important. It hits your mind with the false notion if you are ready to listen and understand. Means cannot become an end. Means cannot become a goal. So if you are in anxiety, duality, conflict, problem, suffering, find out, is your mind living in delusion? And your mind will become easy, comfortable, relaxed at the same time. I believe you all are wise, so you understand that point clearly. Goal is one, and the means to achieve the goal is different. Hunger is one thing, and have the money to buy food is second. Do you see that? So we do not look for difference between means and the goal in our day-to-day life. I woke up in the morning, honey, I saw you had a big face. I thought I should not talk to you. Means, come on. Come on. Change your attitude. So who will change their attitude will become happy. Sometime I trigger your mind. What should I do? That is Eastern wisdom. I have no other ways of explaining the things. So let me make it understand again. So how to approach that? First, I am a seeker of happiness. Be 100% clear. Think of it, contemplate and reflect on it. I am a seeker of peace and happiness. Let your intellect sit with this thought 24/7. And let me know if you are not. Why you want to earn money? To buy a house. Why you want to buy a house? To live with a family. Why you want to live with a family? To be happy. So why don't you be happy from the beginning? Why you depend on the means? So first you are happy and then work hard, earn money and increase your happiness. Why you want to go to college? To get a job. Why you want a job? To earn money. Why you want to earn money? To have a family. Why you want to have a family? To enjoy. First discover the joy first. And then do anything in the world. What a great teaching by our masters. I don't know whether you are appreciating it or not. So if you don't appreciate, you will continue to suffer. That is your choice. Then you will suffer. I am just passing on the wisdom, I am a special agent to all the masters. That is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. We carry forward that traditional wisdom with a clarity in our mind as a teacher that the knowledge lies with that tradition, and all the teachers are supporting me as a teacher. So where is the problem of ego? You accept or you don't accept. But then comes the second step. The seeker always accepts the teaching. How to become a seeker? Our masters don't leave any opportunity to live with the false notion. Understand that. That is why we put such logic. Logic clarifies the concept. Concept is a product of knowledge that is expressed by the thought. Are you clear? So I have to give you those logics to clear your mind. Why to clear your mind? So that your doubts are removed. Second, I trigger your mind so that you start thinking. Yesterday you were thinking, my honey could not give me happiness. Loveless life of Bill Gates for 27 years. What a great genius. I remember him again and again. Our perspective in thinking. You did not realize in the very first year? Let me give you 1 year and you did not realize? You pulled on for 26 years? And then we heard he had a relationship with other women in his office. Women are there for relationship. No, I'm sorry to say. No, I'm just joking. So now see that I did not have a loveful life for 27 years with one woman. How do I expect that I have a loveful life with another woman? This is what our masters are asking to remove your wrong notions. It applies to whether you say men or women. It doesn't, I don't have any, preference for men or women. Master says that I should think first that we are seekers of peace and happiness. Second, they say that peace and happiness are my essential nature. So conclusion, I have to discover this peace and happiness within me. It cannot be found in one man or other man, one woman or other women. Are we clear? Now see how the mind plays with us and makes fun of us. Let me make a statement coming from my master. I remember all my meetings with him. He said He used to say, and I realized after many, many years, maybe 5, 6 years living with him and learning from him, he said, if you claim that you have an anxiety, you have a stress, you have a suffering, you have a problem, you are insulting yourself. You are insulting yourself. How many times you get upset every day? And how many times we insult ourselves? It is a great statement. So now go deeper. Anxiety, upset, strained relationship, depression, etc. It's a long list. It lives in the mind. I experience in the mind. Isn't it? It is not that you experience in the knees and I experience in the mind. All we all experience the same thing in the mind. Right? So, if I am experiencing in the mind, can I inquire, mind, what the hell you are doing to me? Or should I blame others? The way 27 years of loveless life, I'm blaming other. So simple. As if you are in abundance of love and the other gave you a loveless time. That's why you are suffering. But if you are full of love, how can you suffer? No, all the logics comes from the tradition, John. Forget, I'm simply passing on that wisdom. I have nothing to do with it. So now coming to I just wanted to open the topic. We understood there are 9 obstacles that causes the suffering in our life. Right? They live in the mind. Lazy, crazy, I feel heaviness in the body and the mind, even if the weight does not increase. Blah, blah, all the laziness, craziness, all the stuff, 9 obstacles. Now, we hardly recognize these 9 obstacles as false notions created in the mind. Because we don't recognize them, we live our habitual, mechanical, instinctive and impulsive life days after days. Honey, I feel too heaviness in the body and the mind. Can you give me a cup of coffee? Oh, you have not given me a cup of coffee for the last 5 years. Why should I give you? You see. No, you'll be surprised. I get couples who express like this. So you guys give me these statements, It helps me to understand. Clearly. You guys teach me. So now understand the main point. What is that? 9 obstacles we do not recognize that it comes from the false notions and the ideas. Then what happens? The Master Patanjali, 2,500 years ago, he says, then you only recognize the symptoms that you experience in day-to-day life. And what are those symptoms? Those symptoms are pain, despair, restlessness, irregular breathing, or short breathing, or shallow breathing. Are the symptoms of these distracted states of the mind. Can you imagine? 2,500 years ago, There was no modern psychology. There was no psychiatrist. There was no psychotherapist. He says pain means suffering. And if I translate the Sanskrit word, it is equivalent to depression. Third is nervousness. Fourth is restless breathing, are the results of the 9 causes that lives with the false notion. So here the master says, you understand first, have a right knowledge, appreciate that right knowledge, and when you appreciate this right knowledge, 80% of your problems are gone, and the rest 20% will go away by regular practice. Now you have understood. Take one example, take the 4th one. Swasa praswasa, the shallow shortness of the breath. Women knows when the baby is born, how they breathe. The doctor check, they pat on their belly. Oh, the baby is alive. Take home. Now check your breathing. If you are breathing from the ribs, it has come from those 9 obstacles. You may not notice it. It is totally habitual. So why I gave you the chest breathing? To release, to raise your awareness. That ultimately you have to move down to the belly breathing. I would rather use the scientific term, diaphragmatic breathing is nothing but the belly breathing. Belly means what? That every time you inhale, your belly should expand. Every time you exhale, your belly should go inside. That is a perfectly natural breathing, came from the existence, came from the nature. When we have those 9 obstacles continuously working in the mind, your breathing pattern switches from the belly to the ribs. Even the medical doctors say that if you have a rib cage breathing, which is known as thoracic breathing, you continue to have anxiety. It has become a new normal in your life. Only one I'm explaining. Take the second dukh, dharmanasya angame, restless in the body. Restless. Another word is fidgeting. You are sitting and just moving your feet. Why? We don't become aware. Oh, it's casual, it's natural. I have a natural way of moving the body. Okay, that you learned by birth. We don't want to break the false notion. Have you seen people twitching their fingers? They are moving all the fingers sometime. Can you look at my face? I can name him. He told me. He agreed to it, even though there is no privacy confidential policy in India. His name is Anil Taneja. Can you look at my face? He used to do this. I said, what the hell you are doing? I don't know. I don't see anything I'm doing. I said, look into the mirror. Oh yes, I never realized. Can you see a new normal? And later on I realized that manifestation came from his fear of driving. So the root cause was fear of driving. And again I went deeper. The fear was false notion. He was very good in driving. And he used to meet with an accident almost every third day. fear was gone, and that twitching of the cheeks was gone. He became happy. Only because of removing the false notion. And it is caused by the 9 factors, and out of the 9 factors, the 8 factors coming from the mind. First one is physical illness. Then take the where it says yiduk dormanasya. Dormanasya, we can say dormanasya, despair, depression, gloom, all the time. I'm living in a different world with a big face, totally sad, as if I have taken the burden of the entire entire problems and suffering on my shoulders. Take the world lightly. Master says take the world lightly. So you can use that word despair, depression, gloominess. And the first one is pain. Pain. Pain, you may say, pain, physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, all comes to suffering. So these 9 obstacles are, they prevent us to reach to what I said. First thing you remember, we are seekers of peace and happiness. Peace and happiness are our essential nature. Why we cannot find out? Because of these 9 factors. And ultimately because it has become a new normal in my life, hence it leads to these 4 types of suffering. You need not to spend too much of time. You have to change your perspective of life from the false notion to the right notion in life. And I picked up the first principle, means can never become an end. That is why we say money cannot buy happiness. Find out the richest guy who was not happy. And he was not happy for 27 years. My goodness. John. No, I don't want to say too much. He is a great genius. He donated a lot of money for charity, for social activities. No doubt, I love him. I always followed him. I followed him, Bill Gates' notes. He has a blog site. So I always read him with greater curiosity and understand. He has a very, very sharp, subtle, genius mind as far as from the computer to the social activity to the malaria eradication. He has done a great work. Except he has done nothing for himself. That is very clear. Maybe because he has not studied Eastern wisdom. Because you don't see a new perspective of life unless you study something. No, if I don't study physics, I cannot know that wall I am watching is nothing but energy. It is matter. Every matter is nothing but energy. So I can't have a perspective. No, you see, it happens. I don't have a perspective of astronomy. I don't have any perspective of geology. I have never studied it. So in that reference, he is right. So now, going back again, just remember, first, means and end. Wealth cannot buy happiness and peace. If I get married, how many people who are married are happy? So ask yourself. I have to think in that way, so that mind returns to myself, and it reminds the principle that peace and happiness are my essential nature. No, I had been single, now I made a great mistake and blunder that I got married. How many singles are happy? Ask yourself before you take any decision. So your mind should turn inside you. You see the perspective, the way we have to change our thinking. But the thinking should depend on the right knowledge. Right knowledge. So even if you start thinking and think, okay, how many singles are really happy? I haven't seen singles are more depressed. So other people will say married are more depressed. Okay, this is your opinion. It means it is very clear whether I am single or married, it has nothing to do with my happiness and peace. They are the means. That is the conclusion. Having more money, having less money has nothing to do with my peace and happiness. My nose is beautiful or ugly, it has nothing to do with peace and happiness. Sometimes people start thinking like this. Now, I'm telling you the feedback from my own students. Can you do something with my nose? One beautiful woman asked me. I said, no, I cannot do. That is not a part of yoga and meditation. And she got too much of disturbed on the first day of the marriage and the honeymoon. They went and the husband said, I hate your nose. And she took it internally, emotionally. She sometimes writes to me an email, I still have that problem. We have the same trigger points. You have to check those 9 factors. Expression may be different, but we have more or less the same 9 factors working as a false notion. And once you remove these false notions, 80% of the problems are gone. The doubt remains in the intellect. You say that you understand that peace and happiness are within you, but once the session is over, intellect has a doubt. And that doubt is removed by practice, 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 practice. So some people say it is 9 plus 4. There are 13 obstacles on the path. 9, I told you the 9 leads to these symptoms in our daily life. And when these symptoms are, you remove those symptoms. How? Remove the false notion. Keep the mind in the right perspective. Again, I am repeating. We are going deeper every week from today. When you wake up in the morning, sorry. When you wake up in the morning, the first thought, even if that thought is not there, tell your mind, peace and happiness are my essential nature. I am a seeker. I have to find it. And hold on. For a few minutes, check where your mind is going. You will discover one or more obstacles where the mind is going again and again, so that you have a reference to work on in your life. That is the life of a seeker. So whether you say it is 9 obstacles, 4 symptoms, or total 13 problems that distracts the mind and prevents us to discover peace and happiness in our life. I am grateful that you are writing, but the writing should not become useless. You should remind yourself, you should recall yourself. I can say you are closer to me now. I should think of it. So after a couple of years, 5 or 6 years, when it clicked to my mind, 90% of the problems are gone. All these problems comes from the thought process. The way I think and create an image about Sophie, about John, about Anne, about Mead, that keeps haunting me. For example, and they all are dropped completely because it comes from the false notion. False means what? Is there an elephant in the sky? That is false notion. So I carry these false notion in my mind. Everything is good, but my honey doesn't love me. Now, you go on rationalizing it, it makes sense to a lawyer, not to me. Not to me. I will say you are 100% wrong. Your mind lays with those false notions. I will try myself. There are chances, there are in relationship where I say, okay, separate. But 99% I say, why separation? We are already separate. Can I see that clearly in my head? We did not marry at the time of the birth. We were separate, we had a separate family, and we got together. It was attachment, the first false notion. That we have a craving for the physical pleasure, the second false notion. Now, both have gone. Now you are mature. Be wise. Think. Take the right decision. And knowing 100% that we are separate. Can Sophie sleep for John? If yes, then we are not separate. Can John eat for Sophie? Example. Means we are separate. We are bound by a relationship. And that relationship, you can realize if we discover the peace and happiness. Let me express peace and happiness, John. Let me express peace and happiness, Sophie. Finish. Problem is gone. No, just an example. I'm not pointing anything because I don't know anything. You see, that is, and knows, I keep the same relationship. I also live a family life. I pick up the point of contention and I remove. Point of contention means the false notion. I remove it, replace it with the right notion. I check that am I in peace? Yes. Is there any wrong, false notion about any other person who is living in my family? No, I am happy. Where is the problem? Are you getting it? But by regular practice, you can pick up instantly. In a fraction of a second, you take the right decision and you are there. And that comes by practice, 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 practice. So, let us start our practice now and see where we reach. Check the highest level of a seeker. Who is the highest level of a seeker? You all are. Provided you listen to the instructions, your mind is not going anywhere. Eyes are closed. Body is steady. Now you check the body is steady. If there is any movement, fidgeting, it is because of these 13 factors. Now you see, every time we understand a topic and we go by the topic. So we need not to worry. Why? We know we are going to remove them. Very good. And mind is looking inside the forehead. So when it is looking inside the forehead, you become aware of the space, blankness, or darkness. Finished. But still we have to settle. We are still in the highest stage, number 1. It is not a preparatory step, it is the highest step to qualify as a higher seeker. So looking at the neck joint, the mind is aware of the neck joint. You see, awareness, knowledge, and experience, they are synonyms. But still we understand it differently. Now see, I use a different word that makes a sense. That is why we are using these different words. So become aware of the neck joint. Experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. This is knowledge. What I know is my experience, what I experience in the field of awareness. So gradually what will happen? This awareness, knowledge, and experience, you will discover, oh, they are actually one. At that moment, your mind will say, there is no theory, there is no practice, they are not separate in Eastern wisdom, they are essentially one. In the material science, you have a theory, you have a practice. Look at the shoulder joints, be there, feel. You see, I used another word. Feel, experience, sensation, comfortable, and steadiness. What are these 3 words? That you are experiencing, and what you are experiencing is your knowledge. When you feel stress, so that is your knowledge. Then you come out and say to me, yes, I have a lot of depression. Look at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Casually look at the neck joint, feel. Naturally look at the shoulder joints, feel. Hip joint, knees, ankles, toes. Result, sensation, comfort, steadiness, my friends. It is so easy. Why it is not easy? 13 factors. The mind from nowhere brings those false notions into your mind. You miss listening to me. Why? Because you had a thought pertaining to the false notion. Masters have been so clear. And now, looking at the thought, feeling the thought, let the thought come and go. No worries. No worries. Let it come and go. Let it stay. All these thoughts are coming from outside. It will be a great practice. For a minute, you start exploring. Do you have any thought that is your own? That you really own since birth? The mind becomes aware. We realize there is no thought that is my own. I learnt alphabets. I learnt the particular language. The language contains the thought. Everything is coming from outside. The mind is aware of that. In the field of awareness, what happens? You enjoy the freedom. Why? There is a freedom from the thought. Why freedom? I cannot find there is any thought that is my own. I may express differently. Maybe after this session you tell me if you have any original thought. That it belongs to you only. That is the meaning of being carefree. And now we move to the second stage where we continue. That is, now did you understand the shallow, short breathing? We focus on the rib cage. We are still doing the chest breathing. Why? Because the mind that caused this breathing, the mind will go away from the habitual movement of the rib cage. So look deep inside the forehead and start breathing playful, gentle, short breathing from the rib cage. Continue, quick, short, gentle breath, as if you are enjoying, you are playing with the breath. As the mind had been playing with you, you are playing with the breath and the mind. No? If you feel that you have changed the breathing pattern, I will continue to do it because you are doing it consciously. And that will release that habitual pattern. Do you see? That is the way the Eastern wisdom works. And stop this. Just do nothing. Now see that the mind feels freshness, or mind may feel little agitated with lot of thoughts. So if there are a lot of thoughts, we can do another round of the breathing. That is one option. And there are second option available. So let us do another round. and stop this. Now see, still we have any triggering movement. There are many ways. So let us do hammering at the three centers that we did couple of times. And the mantra is, let us take the mantra Om, only Om 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 Om. Mentally you have to hammer deep inside the forehead. So now there are three centers. If you are able to keep your focus at all the three centers while hammering, so now what is hammering? So I use the mantra, means you use the mantra Om 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 mentally. You see, when you use the mantra mentally, it demands an awareness and attention. So if you are hammering with awareness and attention, you find out that thoughts are coming in between. So you can increase the speed of your hammering. One option. Second option, what happens if the 13 factors are stronger than your hammering? They will take over your mind. And then you will come out and share your experiences. No, what is happening? You don't understand. I had lot of thoughts. I was totally confused. There is no need to be confused. Ready. Look inside the forehead. Become aware of the space. In that space, pick a point in the space. Body remains still and steady. You are fully aware. And the mantra, the hammer is with you, is the Om. And let us start hammering mentally. Om 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 Om. Stop hammering, keep looking inside the forehead and just become aware. You will find out a lot of impressions may manifest. Just do nothing. Because that state of the mind is able to witness that, keep it separate from you. Or you may find that as if you are absorbed into the space. Wonderful. Now pick up another center. The heart center, the center of emotion and the feeling and the desires, all the craziness is there. On the front. Deep inside it is pure love. So look inside the forehead, in the heart, in the space. Maybe in the darkness. Pick up a point in the space. When just become aware the body is steady. Let us start hammering. Quick, fast, loud in your mind. It is so quick, fast and loud, mind has no chance to invite any thought. Why to worry? And stop it again. Do nothing. Remain as you are. We are exploring. Now we want a knowledge. We did it. What is happening? Is the mind calm? Is the mind started running outside? Is the mind finds, oh, and you will discover one or more of the 14 factors. It simply means the mind is full of these factors. We need to practice it regularly. Simple way to understand it. And now look inside the belly button in the space. Body is still steady. You find the space. In that space, you pick up a point in the space and start hammering. It is our second stage. You have a lot of thoughts. You need to do this second stage again and again and again. And stop it. So that is what the second stage is. So now move slowly, gently, silently into the third stage. I'm repeating again this practice that I gave you a couple of weeks ago in a different way. Look at the head and the neck outside, so you are aware of outside. The moment the mind is outside, it has thoughts. But what we are doing, you look at the entire head and the neck and experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. It is something, you're outside your home, you see the neighbors, the car, the people are walking, making a noise, dog is there, etc. Now you move inside the home. Your level of awareness is different. Oh, I feel the calm. Look inside the head and the neck. Become aware of the sensation inside. That is your calmness. Recognize it. And a space all around inside the head is the state of quietness. Look at the right arm from outside, as if the mind is moving on the skin of the right arm. Find out sensation, relaxation and stillness. And inside, calmness and quietness. We are not making any effort, we are just seeing. Do you say when you enter into your house, and let me create calmness and then I will sit calmly? It is already there. Same thing. Left arm outside. Sensation, relaxation, stillness. Inside, calmness, quietness. What prevents you to be aware of inside? These 13 factors. Yes. The entire middle portion of the body from the shoulder to the waistline, outside, rib cage in the front and belly, shoulder blades in the back and the spine, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Inside the heart, just an awareness, my friends. Can you not be calm and quiet with a mob? Yes, it depends on my mind. And inside the heart, calmness and quietness. Right leg outside. Sensation, relaxation and stillness. Inside, calmness and quietness. On the left leg, outside and inside. Calmness and quietness, the entire body. Keep the mind within, and from there, look inside the heart, in the space, and drop Om Shanti. Om is the real self, and Shanti means the peace. We do it with the knowledge, my friend. If you don't do it with the knowledge, you will miss it. Doing nothing. In the state of doing nothing, the mind lives totally within, away from the false notion. And we live into that meditative state. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Bring the hands down. How are you, Sophie?
I am good, thank you, but I think my mind was distracted.
Yes, you need not to tell me where it is distracted, but we need to work on it.
My body has some twitches, like
What did you say?
my body all of a sudden went whoop.
Yeah. So the more we do it, and especially the second step, do the entire practice and pick up the second step. Oh, thoughts are coming. Let me do the short and quick breathing. Okay, I have done it for 2 minutes, but still it is there. Let me do it for another minute. And then start hammering. Mind says this thought and you say om 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 om. Superimpose. The best idea, I tell people, I think you might remember I told everyone before. I knock your door. Who are you? I say Om. Why you have come? Om. What do you want? Om. So what will happen to your mind? You say, let me shut up the door. Huh? Get out from here. So you say get out to the mind. That is why we do the hammering. So when we do it with understanding, it helps you. But when we do it habitually, so we have a parallel track. You see, we have a parallel track. How are you, John?
Okay. I'm surprised at how quickly the practice went by. I don't know if I fell asleep or what, but it went by very quickly.
Oh, it means you had a good meditation. Yeah, it was done because you had a sense of timelessness. We did it almost for 25 minutes, usually that we do. That's a beautiful. How are you, Mead?
I feel peaceful. I had a glimpse of living with integrity.
Good. That is another wonderful experience. All experiences are good. If we have problem, it teaches me. If we experience, so keep that aspiration alive that I have to progress, I have to move higher and higher. How are you, Anne?
Yeah, I'm good. I feel fine. I was able to really keep with the meditation and keep the thoughts away.
Keep the thoughts away. That's good.
It's progress for me.
Yes, it is a progress. Any question, my friends?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
Oh, okay.
He is unhappy in his love life.
Yeah.
But what if he is happy in every other aspect of his life? Is he happy?
What a beautiful question. If I am happy with that depends on anything outside, one day it will definitely bring unhappiness. Simple answer. Because the happiness is inside. Happiness is my essential nature. Can I see happiness in $127 billion? That is your question. I'm saying. Can you find out? Can you tear the dollar notes and find out where is the happiness? It is not there. I still experience the same happiness inside. I attach myself with those billions of dollars. I attach myself with the honey. I attach myself with my anything. So that attachment is dependence. And if I depend on anything outside for my happiness, that cannot be the real happiness. I may claim, okay, I'm so happy, I have mansion here and there, I have 5 aircraft and I have 5 Mercedes. What about your happiness, my friend? Where it is located? Huh, John? Where it is located? It is located in my BMW. Now and someone hits that BMW, my happiness is gone. You see, pick up the simple things in life. Simple things. So that is what the Eastern wisdom says. The happiness is within you. You have to find out. You have to be conscious of it. You have to live with it. You have to express it. That is the only remedy. Then everything will be comedy, nothing will be tragedy. Otherwise, the life is, for 27 years it was comedy, and after 27 years it is tragedy. Now, with due respect, I love him. I told you that I have already studied his, I always study. He has such a keen eye. And the best part that I liked about him, he predicted this virus 5 years ago. Calculating and understanding the entire ecosystem. He went back to 200 years and he analyzed. He hired statisticians and he hired those people who can do the statistics and find out. It was amazing. But what was amazing in his life? I don't want to go there. It is his personal life. He may sue me, I have to be careful. You see, that is the whole thing. Yes. Yes, Sophie.
I'm not sure I understood Abhirati.
You understood?
I didn't understand clearly Abhirati.
Avirati. Can I say Avirati in one word? Hypocrisy. What is hypocrisy? My mind is craving for something inside. I reverse my expression outside. I reverse. No. I have total control over it. I'm okay. I'm okay. But inside, mind is craving for it. Outside, I control it. So avirati. Rati means pleasure. Virati means that I go against the pleasure. I have learned how to control the pleasure. And avirati, when we add the as a prefix, that it means still. One mind says, no worries, I'm fine and okay. I'm smiling, but inside I'm boiling. I will teach you a lesson. Inside, my mind is saying, but outside, what a great person you are. Very good, very good. So now it happens in case of attachment. I am seeking a pleasure in my mind, but at the physical level, due to many factors, my prestige is at stake, my recognition is at stake. Hence, I say, yes, I see how much control I have. Now add all the spices, inside and outside. You will find out what is avirati. So wonderful to see you all. We will meet again. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste. So let me stop this. Yes. Okay.